How many Marvel movies have you seen? For years, millions of people have sat through the epic tale of Earth 616. The tiny blue planet has nearly an unlimited number of heroes flying around trying to save it from countless evils and destructive forces. After billions in revenue and countless iconic lines, Marvel has created a universe that we're all lucky to be part of. No matter how fantastical these films are, there's always something new to learn. To make these cinema blockbusters better than great, a lot goes on off-camera to make them possible. So in this video, we've compiled some of the funniest and most shocking secrets that go on behind the scenes of your favorite Marvel movies, even if they're gold. Look, we're all amazed at the power of some heroes. Whether it's beams for their eyes or ropes from their hands, they're super cool. Okay, maybe Mortal Kombat's Scorpion isn't a hero, but whatever. In the Marvel universe, even archers can be the ones to save the day. To prepare for the great transformation from man to Marvel, there's a lot of training involved. So how does one become the best archer in the world? They have to train with the best archers in the world. Does this mean that Hawkeye could win a gold medal? It was a hands-on experience for Loki. Action movies need some humor to balance out their intensity. Sometimes, they can combine both and make iconic scenes. Remember in The Avengers when the Incredible Hulk turns Loki into a rag doll? It was like seeing a pet whip their favorite toy around. Not only was it hilarious, it fits into the plot extremely well. The issue here is, it wasn't exactly accurate. Who knew that gamma radiation-infused mutants weren't a common thing? The same goes for Asgardian tricksters. To get around that, some improv was implemented. Instead of being slapped around, something just as physical had to be done. Shaking someone is never advised, but if it gets the shot, it gets the shot. He delivered a modern Shakespearean performance. Robert Downey Jr. must have a sore back. It has nothing to do with his physical health. It's more of a commentary on him carrying the entire Marvel universe. He's handsome. He has a great head on his shoulders. He also has some of the best dialogue in any of the films. What makes him even dreamier is that he writes some of his own lines. Writing may be a bit of a generous term. He tells nobody what he plans to say and just makes movie gold. That makes a bit more sense. These moments add some humanity and believability to these hero movies. They're also hilarious, and that's always a plus. Do runners not have muscles? Athletes, both Olympic and for funsies, are fit machines. Changing their bodies to meet the demands of sports is an arduous process. Sometimes we can't predict what will happen. Other times we work out just to get certain parts of our bodies to change. But some people are naturally muscular. They're the lucky ones. What about runners who have the upper arm strength of Hercules? These are all possibilities, but apparently not in the Marvel-verse. If you're a super fast runner, you don't get to have any muscle mass. Why? Because heroes have to fit a mold, and overall body positivity may not be that. Did he do his own stunts? Fashion permeates nearly everything we do. What we choose to wear can tell a lot about our personalities. It can also let us know some deep insight into a person's past. For instance, if you wear oversized coveralls and juggle, maybe you're a clown. If you wear a vintage 60s rock t-shirt, maybe you're a poser. Isn't fashion fun? Famous actors aren't exempt from these bizarre observations. Take Iron Man for instance. He doesn't need gadgets. He could kung fu his way through enemies like they were butter. That probably came in handy against Thanos. We're not exactly sure, no spoilers, but it's a good bet that's how the Civil War ended. There was hunger in his eyes. Not every hero or villain needs to bulk up for a role. Fighting for a planet can actually take a lot out of someone. To avoid falling asleep on the job, you need to have some snacks handy. This all makes sense. When it comes to the Asgardians, things tend to work a bit differently. Instead of putting on the kilos, Loki had to trim himself down. That's saying a lot for Hiddleston, who is already pretty slim. All that emaciation worked in his favor. That hungry look for power in his eyes has a double meaning. He could only be satisfied after taking over the entire human racer. Though a double cheeseburger would be enough for us. It is called method acting. Getting into a character takes a lot of preparation. Actors who fully devote themselves generally succeed. To stay in that role off camera separates the pros from the non-Oscar winners. When it comes to embodying a lead, you have to be willing to make some sacrifices. Instead of chilling with your friends between takes, you may need some distance. It can also create some loneliness. Maybe you need to tap into the mindset to become one of the most memorable Wakandans around. a true captain of Marvel. There are a lot of great figures to keep track of in the Marvel Universe. Gods, celestials, immortal beings, there's just so many. However, there's one person that sits highest above all. This towering giant made the heavens and the skies. He's responsible for forging the fires that birthed the multiverse's mightiest heroes. The best part is he appears in almost every Marvel film. He's never been defeated or even challenged. Obviously, we're talking about Stan Lee. He's the father of modern comics and everything superhero. Since someone else already had the title of Captain Marvel, the film needed to pay homage in another way. Did he get to choose the style? Not everyone is blessed with perfect hair. Even fewer people are blessed with the abilities of an Asgardian god. Those two things aren't necessarily linked. However, in this case, they may help each other. Could you imagine wielding a hammer that summons thunder and lightning? That'd be cool. What's even cooler? We think growing out your hair and your employer being cool with it. That's right up there with having superpowers or an ancient and oddly powerful heritage in another dimension. The only thing that'd make Thor's hair-growing ability cooler would be simple. If he could change its color, at will he'd be completely unstoppable. His stylist must get a ton of days off. Almost too young for a fighter pilot. A lot of decisions go into casting a lead, and not all of them have to do with their acting talent. Sometimes a character just needs to have a certain look, voice, or age in order to fit in with the rest of the movie. Brie Larson was nearly too young to make the cut when it came to casting Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers was part of a highly trained group of female fighter pilots, and casting thought it would be unrealistic for someone of Larson's age to portray the part. It wasn't until screenwriter Nicole Perlman spoke to the U.S. Air Force to confirm that someone her age could realistically be a pilot of Danvers' caliber. Well, worth the effort. Groot might be the most recognizable character from Guardians of the Galaxy. Even people who haven't seen the films are familiar with him and the quote, "I am Groot." Audiences might shed a tear when Groot dies toward the end of the first film. But fret not, a seed was saved, and a new Groot was planted. And this one was super cute. We see baby Groot jam out a little towards the end of the film, but he has a whole choreographed sequence at the beginning of the sequel. Was it worth the 2 years of work? We definitely think so. And Mr. Blue Sky was the perfect song choice. That's all for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.